You're watching ABC10 Plus Tonight.
Hello, I'm Laura Painter. You're watching ABC10 Plus Tonight. We're watching stormy conditions across the region, how to stay safe in the days ahead. Then we look at wildfire-resistant homes after the recent wildfires in Southern California. Plus, on to the back roads, John Bartel takes us to Rockland to visit a pyramid-shaped tomb in the middle of a golfing community. ABC10 Plus Tonight starts right now.
And as thousands of families look to rebuild after last month's wildfires in the Los Angeles area, one Northern California construction company has a solution: 3D printed homes. And we first introduced you to this business back in 2022. And now ABC10's Becca Habegger is checking back in with the company as they are now working with families in the LA area to build wildfire resistant homes in the wake of tragedy.
Weeks since several wildfires in the Los Angeles area killed at least 29 people and damaged or destroyed more than 18,000 homes and other structures.
Oh, and we had, a partial structure collapse.
You can't believe that it's all gone.
Thousands like Evangeline Iglesias are looking to rebuild.
3:30 in the morning, a police officer was driving up and down our road saying, mandatory evacuation, everybody out.
January 8th was the last time this single mom of 3 adult children would see her family home in Altadena. They'd lived there for 25 years. When they could return, this is what greeted them. The chimney is all that stood.
I'm sad about my house, but I'm more sad about total annihilation of the whole neighborhood. This is where my kids grew. I love Altadena.
She said her friend told her about a new kind of home.
I Googled 3D printing fireproof house because obviously I don't want this to happen again.
That's how she found a company called Emergent Construction based in Redding.
We use an on-site 3D printer and extrude concrete to build homes.
In the wake of the LA wildfires, Emergent founder and CEO Don Ajamian posted this video on social media.
If you find yourself lost, confused, not sure what to do next, please call me.
Don says this is personal on multiple levels. He grew up in Altadena. This was one of his childhood homes. And in 2018, he and his family evacuated their home in Redding during the Carr fire.
Even though it's not perfectly smooth, it's consistently inconsistent.
We visited Don in Redding, where Emergent has since 3D printed 6 homes.
Emergent is the first to actually get concrete 3D printed on-site homes permitted in the state.
As Don explained to ABC10 in 2022, the process can be faster than building the frame of a conventional home.
We actually take the material, we formulate and mix it up ourselves. We pump it through the machine and all the way down to the print head, and the print head is controlled by the computer, which tells it exactly where the walls are, and it just lays out extruded layers of concrete that are 2 inches wide by 1.5 inches tall. And it'll do one layer of every wall, and then another layer, and then another layer, until it builds it up to 8 feet high.
Don says finishing the house is still dependent on the availability of local subcontractors. He traveled to Los Angeles a couple of weeks ago to meet with wildfire survivors and those he says he will now partner with in Los Angeles to help people rebuild. He adds one of the 7 total homes Emergent printed is at Woodbury University in Los Angeles County.
It's good to know that their building department's already seen this, and it's not going to be a surprise to them.
And importantly, these homes will be wildfire resistant.
There will literally be no flammable materials as a part of the structure of the house.
Emergent already has its first contract signed with a family in Los Angeles. In fact, they'll be building this same style house with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
That family is Evangeline's.
It's going to be amazing. I just can't wait.
We try to find a little bit of light at the end of the dark tunnel.
In Redding, Becca Habegger, ABC10.
And as far as costs, Emergent Construction says right now the cost of 3D printing a home isn't much different from conventional construction, but he does predict that within a decade, 3D printing houses will get significantly less expensive as the technology evolves.
Just a few weeks, PG&E customers in Stockton could see a savings on their bills.
It's all part of a community energy's expansion to the area. ABC 10's Gabriel Porras explains how it works.
John Tovar hasn't had much luck finding a deal at the grocery store lately. And at home, it's no better.
I sit in a dark house, don't use lights, and it's put my fireplace on and still get a high bill for my electricity.
But that bill could soon go down by 5%. That's the promise that nonprofit power provider Ava Community Energy is making. Their expansion into Stockton and Lathrop in April will mean all electricity customers will be automatically enrolled through them unless they opt out.
As we're sourcing the electricity, the energy sources for all of the customers, while PG&E continues to be the provider of the services related to transmission, distribution, metering.
Before changing its name in 2023, Ava Community Energy didn't have a great relationship with state regulators. State records show they were fined millions of dollars between 2019 and 2023 for not having enough energy.
How can you guys ensure that your new customers you'll be adding in Stockton and Lathrop will have the amount of power that they need when they need it?
The first thing I would say is power outages and such are still fully managed by PG&E.
CEO Howard Chang says his nonprofit has changed since then. Those reliability concerns, the reason state regulators made them stock up on energy and delay their expansion by a year. Stockton City Council members first approved the expansion after public meetings in 2022.
I can assure you and I can assure our new communities and customers that we'll be serving that we have met all of those obligations over the last several years. We take that very seriously.
A promise to have enough power when needed, all for a lower price, for some too hard to trust.
If you're bringing in a third party, they've got to get something. And so how's that going to work? 5% really isn't that much.
But others say with prices how they are, anything helps.
Something will make a difference. It's better than nothing.
In Stockton, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
And state law requires all current PG&E customers to be switched over unless they opt out. Ava Community Energy says they plan to expand to unincorporated San Joaquin County in 2026.
Some localized flooding is happening around Northern California, making for some difficult driving conditions.
Yeah, ABC 10's Devin Truby spoke to Sacramento County officials about the areas of concern, and she joins us now live.
Yeah, and Devin, we can see a lot of water behind you, a scene drivers don't want to come upon. Where are you?
Yeah, Laura, we are out here on Scott Road, and let's take a look at all that water like you mentioned. And we're starting to see those road closed signs going up, even though trucks are going to make their way through. I have a feeling that's because this is actually one of the least flooded areas. This water coming across from Little Dry Creek. If you go less than a quarter mile down the road, you've got Dry Creek flooding out the roadways, which is what these vehicles just figured out, that they cannot pass that. So now they are turning back and coming this way. This, of course, is not advised. The saying goes, turn around, don't drown, and that is what is always recommended by county officials. But this is not the first time that we have tried to see vehicles surpass these flooded roadways. Go ahead and take a look at what we saw earlier today as well.
It comes down to whether or not we get a lot of water in a short amount of time. The ground is pretty dry, but for us, if we end up getting 2 to 3 inches in a 24-hour period, our systems could become overtaxed, and then we could see backup in our systems and street flooding. That's our biggest concern.
Further down the road, closer to Rancho Marietta, that's where Dry Creek has flooded the roadway. It's also knocked down the barbed wire fence, which is why those trucks could not cross and had to turn around and come back. Now, the rain rate is what Sacramento County is most concerned about this evening, but they're saying that the breaks in the rain that we've experienced earlier today is what has been crucial, allowing that ground to go ahead and dry out. Now, Sacramento County tells us if you come across road conditions like this, do what we decided to do. We turned around. We didn't cross because, as the saying goes, turn around, don't drown. And if you see any flooding like this or standing water, you're asked to report it to 311. Reporting live in Sacramento County, Devin Truby, ABC 10.
Excellent advice, Devin. Turn around, don't drown. This flooding is very serious. You don't know how deep the water is or what exactly is in it. Stay safe out there. Devin, thank you. Now to the Sierra and check in on ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha, who's along Interstate 80, where travel has been so challenging with all the snowy conditions.
And Garshpal, we can see the snow coming down even as we speak. How are things going tonight?
Yeah, Chris and Laura, this snow has really picked up over the past 5 minutes, but before that, as soon as that snow would hit the ground, it would turn into water, and that's why you have that snow-water mix on the roadways. All this condition that you're seeing is what drivers are facing on I-80 here along Cisco Grove, and at times it has been challenging. So this is what we're dealing with around 5,600 feet, but around 7,200 feet, let's go and show you that video. Whiteout conditions that drivers have been dealing with, and that is why at times, due to spinouts, I-80 has had to be closed, and so this is near Donner Summit, around 7,200 feet. Some cars are having a hard time gaining traction on the roadways near the summit, which explains some of those spinouts. Now, Caltrans has discouraged driving during this storm and are preparing as much as they can.
There, we've got about 200 pieces of equipment between I-80 and the 50 corridor. The only thing we would change is if we had to bring additional staffing up from the valley.
And remember, the roads are extremely icy, and if you must drive through the Sierra, take it slow, increase your following distance. Again, take it slow. Back out here live. Again, we're here at the Chevron station here at Cisco Grove. This is one of many equipments that Caltrans has been having in this area. So right now they're fueling up before they go back out there, clearing these roads. So this storm has recently picked up again. Usually it was that ice water mix, but that snow is picking up here at 5,600 feet. But if you don't need to be out here, don't. Reporting live near Cisco Grove, Garge Paul Sunga, ABC10.
That's a big holiday weekend. How long is this lasting?
Well, tonight we're still going to see major impacts in the Sierra. Things are starting to wind down for the valley overnight tonight, but get this, our flood advisory has now been extended until midnight. We're still seeing minor flooding in low-lying areas, plus ponding of water on roadways. So we've got a lot of travel impacts even remaining in the valley, and that's because we're continuing to see bands of rain, heavy at times, moving through the region. So we haven't seen a whole lot of time for that water to recede from what we saw overnight last night into early this morning, with over an inch of rain falling since midnight throughout the valley. Over an inch and a half for Fairfield, about 2+ inches for Placerville, over an inch for Auburn, over 2 inches of rain for Sonora, and several inches of snow for the Sierra. We're going to be totaling that into feet by tomorrow afternoon. Peak wind gusts forward today, upwards of 45 to 50 miles per hour. This largely came through overnight through early this morning. We saw 60+ mile per hour gusts in San Francisco, and that is true as well for South Lake Tahoe. So blowing, drifting snow near whiteout conditions for the high country. This storm system extends all the way from north to south across the West Coast. So it's a powerful winter storm. Really hitting almost the entire West Coast here. Get a little bit of a break, another one brewing, and that's going to keep us with at least a slight chance of showers coming in over the 3-day weekend, with our snow level about 6,500 feet on Sunday. President's Day, we're starting to dry things out, but more lingering Sierra light snow for the 3-day weekend. I'll look at the Big Mountain backyard right now. We have variable conditions, generally speaking, though. Rain moving through the valley with temperatures holding in the 50s to near 60. Tahoe currently at 34 degrees, so it's a very warm snow, cold rain. Current winds are starting to wind down, but we still have those periods of gusts coming through, and that wind advisory remains in effect. Light the beam forecast 55 degrees for tonight. We're going to see 80% cloud cover and still those showers that'll be lingering at least through early tonight. Here's a look at those winds, and again, they'll start to wind down overnight tonight through tomorrow. So tomorrow morning's commute may still find some ponding on the roadways, but you're not going to have the wind gusts like we had to deal with for today. Total rainfall, what's left over from this storm, giving us about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of rain, about another inch or so throughout the foothills, and that's why we're still seeing some runoff and some elevated creeks and streams in the lower elevations. Still about 1 to 2 more feet of snow by tomorrow afternoon for the Sierra, with the biggest impacts truly for the Sierra coming in for our Friday forecast. But most of us are going to have a dry Valentine's Day, more showers on tap for that Sunday forecast. It's a real quick mover, though, not a lot of accumulation and low impacts. Highs tomorrow in the 30s for the Sierra, with 40s and 50s in the foothills, 50s along the coast, and we'll see those 50s inland as well. A look at the 5-day regional forecast. A chance of snow lingers for tomorrow, and then we'll have those showers again into our President's Day weekend for the Sierra primarily. 3-day forecast, no weather impact alert days on there, but we do have those showers on tap for early Sunday, and then things will start to clear out and warm up.
Oh, yeah, and looking improved for Valentine's Day.
Yes,
the day
it
of
is.
love. Lots of love.
Monica, thank you.
We know that in news, stories are filled with challenges and hardships, but incredible things are happening every day, from neighbors helping neighbors to inspiring acts of kindness. Each week in our segment, Champions of Hope, we're going to be sharing stories on people making a difference, reminding us of the power of community. Tonight, we're going to be taking you out to Westwood Elementary in Stockton, where a principal caught the attention of one local parent.
Raise your hand if you were done with science.
It's the little things.
I've never seen a principal out there doing crossing guard in their three-piece suit. I've never seen a principal out there sweeping up the parking lot.
That Westwood Elementary parent, Rosalinda Valencia, notices Principal Joseph Ward doing for her kids.
I definitely saw that.
Thank you for being a caring principal and always putting the needs of the families and the children first.
They want it. They want the garden. Westwood Elementary is just a wonderful community.
Mr. Ward has been the principal of Westwood Elementary for 2 years.
When you walk on campus, there's a sense of belonging here that I think the kids feel, I think the staff feels, I think the parents feel.
Admittedly, he
wasn't always the easiest student to work with back in the day. I've had my trips to the principal's office, so to speak.
But the support and mentors in his life made a difference, something he hopes to pass on to staff and students at his school.
To me, it feels like I'm paying forward in the best way I can the people that have poured into me. I love to help where I can because I think that's my purpose. You know, that's why I'm here in education, is to be supportive.
He's grateful for his students, parents, and staff, and to the mom that wrote into ABC10.
They're very kind words and a kind act, and I hope to earn that and repay that every day.
See you later.
Thank you.
And we know there are so many more stories waiting to be told. So if you know someone making a difference, of course, we would love to hear about it. You can always share a story with us by emailing us at tothepoint@abc10.com. Together, we can keep spreading positivity one story at a time.
Well, you know what that music means? You never know what you'll see out on the back roads.
And tonight, John Bartel takes us to Rockland to visit a tomb in the shape of a pyramid in the middle of a golfing community.
In the middle of a suburban community sits a strange tomb fit for a mummy.
No, your eyes aren't deceiving you. That is a pyramid in Rockland. John Bartel here, making a little pit stop at the Whitney tomb.
If you look up from the 11th hole at Rockland's Whitney Oaks Golf Club, you'll see a seemingly out-of-place pyramid. There's no real signs or directions on how to get there other than a small plaque on the ground that says The Pyramid. The pyramid is 15 feet high and built out of granite blocks. The area is a little overgrown with a downed tree resting against the side, but other than the small plaque on the ground, there's little info on what the pyramid is doing here.
The pyramid belongs to the Whitney family, Joel Parker Whitney's family. Their house was not far from this pyramid that they built, and it is a mausoleum where the family members were buried.
Bonnie Rucola Newman is a docent at the Rockland Historical Society, and she says Joel Parker Whitney was a wealthy landowner, farmer, and promoter of Rockland.
Then at one point went to Colorado and established himself there and made a lot of money from the silver mining.
After striking it rich in Colorado in the mid-1800s, Mr. Whitney tried his luck in California, but instead of mining, he fell in love with Rockland, where he bought 27,000 acres and spent his days growing several varieties of citrus and raising sheep until he died in 1913 at the age of 78 from complications of kidney disease.
So historians believe that Whitney chose the shape of a pyramid because he was a believer in pyramidology, which is the belief that a pyramid has magical powers, including reincarnation.
It's believed at least 17 of Mr. Whitney's descendants are entombed in the pyramid.
Do you suppose there's ever been any tomb raiders that have gone in there?
Oh, there have been.
Really?
Bonnie says in the 1970s, a few men broke into the tomb, which at the time did not have the massive metal door.
Well, I can tell you, tomb raiders aren't going to get in here. Now, surrounding the pyramid, you'll find this wall of granite boulders. Whitney used to call this the fort, but on the other side of the wall, you'll find a Native American grinding stones. And this is where the Nisenan people used to use the stone as sort of a mortar to grind up acorns.
Bonnie says Mr. Whitney had a good relationship with the local Native Americans and even employed some of them.
When the family ended up selling all the property, they kept 1 acre of land around the mausoleum that they still own to this day.
From the Whitney Pyramid Tomb in Rockland, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Thank you so much for watching ABC 10 Plus tonight. We're here 24/7 on the free ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere you stream. I'm Laura Painter. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Trust isn't given, but earned. It's built every day by doing the hard work, putting in the hours, doing the research, holding the powerful accountable, and being there when you need us most. Working hard to earn your trust every day, every newscast, every story. Watch weeknights at 6 or stream live on ABC 10 Plus.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To the Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To the Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention Bay Sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look, it's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To the Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC 10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.